I think I'm lost. I'm definitely not on the Shvil. Hey everyone, my name is Jo, and I'm the Kosher Ninja. We're planning and preparing my bucket list adventure, which is to hike through Israel from one end to the other along the Israel National Trail later this year. I'm so glad you've stopped by, and while you're here, I hope you'll subscribe. But right now, we're going to do a bit of a bonus video to address a question that I've had a couple of times that I think deserves its own little video. I'm going to be walking through a whole country from one end to the other. How do I know where to go, and how do I not get lost? In Israel in particular, this is quite a fundamental question, because there are some areas where if you don't know where you're going, you can really find yourself in quite a dangerous situation. In the north, for example, there are still active minefields, and while the trail and the minefields are all very well marked, you just don't want to be making any mistakes. So we're going to talk about two things, starting with this marvel of modern technology, which is called a map. And some people call them markers and some people call them blazes. So both maps and markers have both low-tech and high-tech solutions. And starting with maps, we have here the National Geographic Israel Adventure Travel Map, which I ordered online a couple months ago, and I was super stoked to find that there's actually a comprehensive map of Israel that actually shows the Israel National Trail and where it goes. Obviously, it's not a very detailed map, but it does say it's revised regularly. So even with all the changes to the trail, it is updated. I wouldn't rely on this alone for sure, because like I said, it's not very detailed and there are constant changes to the trail, but it's a good starting point. Then we have what's called the Red Book, which, as you can see, is red. This is the Guide to the Israel National Trail. It was written by Jacob Sar and Yagil Henkin, and it's now into its third edition. And so it's very detailed. It's a very useful resource. It gives day-by-day directions on where to go and also what to see along the way. And it has section-by-section maps that show the topography of the terrain and where the trail is supposed to go. And that's an operative word, because from what I hear, there are some complaints that it's not entirely accurate, and part of that is due to the constant changes to the trail. So there is an online forum where you can go and find out what the changes and the updates to the trail are. So I've been very busy checking that out. Now, aside from the Red Book, the other low-tech solution I'll be relying on is the trail blazes. There are markers on some trails that are like plastic markers of different colors. And on other trails like the Shvil, they're painted markers of certain colors. And these markers are painted along rocks and buildings along the trail. So you look out for the next marker and head towards that marker, and that's how you know where the trail goes. So the blazes for the Shvil are painted markers that are white, blue, and orange. And it's not quite clear what these colors specifically stand for, but some people say that the white stands for the snow on Mount Hermon, the blue stands for the color of the Mediterranean Sea, and the orange for the Negev Desert in the south. I don't know if that's true or not, but it sounds good to me and I'll take it. When a trail is originally being set up, someone will go out and put those markers up, or those blazes, and that person is called a trailblazer, and that's where that word comes from. And of course, in the 21st century, we have high-tech solutions that combine both maps and markers. So for this, we have GPS, and which I'm not going to talk really much about because it's fairly straightforward. And really it requires a little bit more than just GPS, because you need to have an app that combines the GPS with the map of the Shvil. So we have cell phone apps, which I have downloaded 2 of those. One is called OSMAND, and that stands for OpenStreetMap Automated Navigation Directions. Completely irrelevant, but interesting. And then there is, actually I found out a couple of months ago, there is a INT app for your phone that some people have used and found helpful. So I've downloaded both those apps and will be letting you know what I think. So now you know how I won't be getting lost on the Shvil. I will be relying on my Red Book guide and on my cell phone apps, as well as the trailblazers who've gone before me and marked the INT blazes. So if you're as excited as I am about my adventure, give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and share this video with your friends. If you have any questions or comments, put them in the comments down below. And if you've ever hiked the Shvil or elsewhere in Israel, and in particular if you've used OSMAND or the INT app and have any thoughts about those, I would love to hear from you. I'm so excited to be sharing this journey with you, and I can't wait to see you again next time. Until then, shalom, eh? Boo! That sucks. Open source map and navigation directory or something. Hopefully I won't be finding myself in an active minefield. I won't, I promise.
Oh look, you're lost no more. You're found.